Sean Lennon here with Warrior Wrestling's Steve Tortorello on Pro Wrestling Enforcer podcast. If you haven't yet, go check out Warrior Wrestling at warriorwrestling.net. Get your tickets now because March 12th is a huge card. Warrior Wrestling 20 will be taking place in McGowan Hall. Make sure to check it out at warriorwrestling.net in Indianapolis, Indiana. Get your tickets. Going to be an exciting card. As always, Warrior Wrestling always delivers, and you know, they're always going to put on a great show. So, Steve, we welcome you back on Pro Wrestling Enforcer. Hope everything is well with you.
Thank you, my friend. It's great to be back on here. Yep, things are going well. We're excited to be taking the show on the road once again. We've gone to South Bend. We've gone to a few places around the Chicago area, but this is our first time making the big drive down to Indianapolis to the Circle City. And we're hoping that some folks from Chicago make that drive with us and that some folks from Indianapolis try us for the first time. So we're really excited.
Yes, for sure. And I wanted to get your thoughts on how Wrestling Observer rated the match with Will Ospreay and Brian Cage back in January, the main event of Warrior Wrestling 18, 4.5 stars.
Yeah, we were excited. You know, so it's very important to have people who know and love wrestling take a chance on watching what you produce. And it's interesting. People have very different opinions and takes about the various newsletter writers or Dave Meltzer himself, etc. But at the end of the day, you know, there's no one in the world who knows wrestling like Dave Meltzer. And there's no one who's seen more wrestling than Dave Meltzer. Right. And for Dave to take the time in his incredible week with a million things that he's got to watch and write, the guy writes more than any other author on earth. The guy's producing tens of thousands of words a week. For him to take the time and to watch a big chunk of a Warrior Wrestling show means the world to us, because somebody who's truly an expert in the field took their time to review the product that we produce. So that in and of itself is really an honor. And then the fact that he rated it so highly, he mentioned that the Lawler versus Anthony Henry match would be a 4-star match, and the Ospreay and Cage match, as he said, was well above that. He gave it 4.5 stars and said it was absolutely phenomenal. And talked about how those that were there live, you said that the live atmosphere was unreal. So we really appreciate Dave Meltzer taking the time to watch it. And we're glad that he thought about that match what we did, which is that it was incredible. And we hope that not only Dave, but anybody else who loves wrestling and reviews wrestling continues to take a chance on Warrior and give us a shot, because I think if people try it, they're going to be really happy with what they see.
For sure. And we're looking forward to Will Ospreay make his return to Warrior Wrestling. And he's having a very strong year, as attested to all his work.
Absolutely. He's making a run right now in the New Japan Cup. Of course, we are rooting for him to win the whole thing. And he will come back to the States and come back to Warrior on April 23rd in South Bend. So he will return to the site of that great match to defend the Warrior title once again.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what Warrior Wrestling brings, is the opportunity for these wrestlers to come on your stage and, you know, have these dream matches, first-time matches. I think that's what's always exciting about Warrior.
Yeah, and that's the goal, right? We often said that we want to be a crossroads. We want to be a place where the different wrestlers from different areas all come together and have matches that they otherwise wouldn't have. And that is our goal. We want to introduce you to some of the new up-and-comers, but we want the people who are big deals right now to be able to have fun and have matches that they want to have they couldn't have anywhere else. And that's what we do.
And so talking about going to Indianapolis for this show, it's probably the furthest that you've been for a Warrior Wrestling event. And the logistics of that,
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. People often think about the matches and the wrestlers and, oh, this cool person and that. But there is a whole lot else that goes into it, you know. So this is very unsexy or unalluring. But after we finish our podcast here, I've got a call with Eric and a few of the other people on our crew. We're talking about organizing the hot dogs and the Costco runs for the concessions for the show. So there's, you know, these very unsexy things that go into putting on a show as well. And like you said, doing that 3 hours from home, 2.5 hours from home makes it difficult, right? So we've got to pack a lot of things. We've got to haul a lot of things. We've got to find the best ways to get to and from the airports in Indianapolis, which we know in Chicago and we don't necessarily know down in Indy. So there's a lot, I wouldn't say a headache because it's not a negative thing, but there's just a lot more involved in doing a big road show.
Yeah. I'm sure, and that's definitely going to be, you know, attest to the you know, the skills that you guys have attained over the years.
Yeah, we you know, we've it's not our first rodeo. We've done quite a bit of this, and now we're doing it on the road.
For sure. And we didn't have Frank the Clown at the last show, so the curious is if he will show up at this one in
You know,
Indianapolis. Yeah.
contractually, we have to allow him to. He was not in January or February shows because he was following his favorite LA Rams in their march to the playoffs, and then
Right.
unfortunately their win in the Super Bowl. So we'll see. This is the first show without the Rams playing, so I'm afraid we might have an appearance by Frank the Clown. So we'll see.
Okay. But besides that, a really incredible card. I mean, you guys always stack it up, and you've got a lot of great former NXT wrestlers, like Jonah's going to be there. So how excited are you to see some of the newer faces that Warrior Wrestling is going to obtain for this show?
Yeah, so a lot of times we have some great AEW talent. This time, like you said, NXT is very well represented. Athena is coming back after she debuted with us in February, formerly Ember Moon, NXT Women's Champion. Killer Kross returns to Warrior Wrestling, NXT former champion. Jonah was Bronson Reed, of course, and a North American champion in NXT. So we're excited. You know, it's Jonah's first show with us. He is a monster. And we're really pumped for what he's going to bring to the table. It's the first time we've had Psycho Clown. We've been talking about working with Psycho Clown for years now. And so him coming up from Mexico for the show is going to be very exciting. We've got a few other returns as well. Arez is coming back. Speedball's coming back, who just debuted with us last month. It's going to be a really exciting show, and we're hoping to put together a combination of all different stars from different companies and different styles of matches to really give everybody a buffet of wrestling.
Yes, yeah, and I think the last show definitely showed that. I mean, you guys had the Briscoes there. That was a great match they had with the Workhorsemen. You had Dante Martin, you had Bandito in a first-time dream match. And, the last show delivered Athena, of course, and Thunder Rosa going the distance.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that was definitely what you said, a wrestling buffet.
That's what we're going for. You know, our hope is that you watch a Warrior show and you see a little bit of everything, from ground and pound to high flying to brawls to technical style. You should be able to watch a Warrior show start to finish and be satisfied that everything you could possibly want was there.
Definitely. And then you had mentioned Psycho Clown coming to fight Sam Adonis. And this is a personal fight because we know about the feud between the Sam Adonis, the La Impresa, and DMT and Puma King against Psycho Clown.
Yeah, so Psycho Clown has been the face of AAA for many years now. He's their big star. And Sam Adonis and his group La Impresa have arrived to wreak havoc and terrorize AAA. So Sam and Psycho have fought all over the world, all over North America and Mexico. This is a long-standing feud. Sam just captured with DMT Azul and Puma King the Trios Championships down in AAA. So this is going to be a chance for AAA's big star to take something from Sam Adonis. You know, Sam is the new belt collector. He's got the Gali Lucha Libre Championship, the Warrior Lucha Championship, the AAA Trios titles, and now Psycho Clown might be able to put a dent in that and take something from him.
Yep, definitely. He's definitely the Lucha Kingpin of Chicago, is Sam Adonis at this point.
He is.
Yeah, definitely. That's an exciting match. You've got Pillman and Silas Young. We're finally going to see them take each other on. That should be fun as well.
Yeah, exactly. So that was originally scheduled for January in South Bend. This is going to be a fight. This is going to be two very different styles of human beings, right? Silas Young, kind of the grizzled veteran man's man, calls himself the last real man in professional wrestling. Then you got Brian Pillman, blonde hair, mullet, party boy, frat boy, varsity blonde. They have two very different takes on what it means to be a man and what it means to be a wrestler. And this is not going to be a technical masterpiece. This is not going to be a high-flying show. This is going to be a fight. Yeah. And either the man's man, the last real man, is going to show this kid his place, or Brian Pillman's going to step up and take his place at the table. So it's going to be pretty exciting. Yeah,
definitely. And then, we had Skye Blue, who is going to be taking on Thunder Rosa. And Skye Blue, she's had a couple victories now in Warrior Wrestling, is a Warrior Wrestling fan favorite. And got done against Miranda Alize, so it should be exciting to see her and Thunder Rosa and see what that match offers.
Yeah, Skye Blue's. Yeah, Skye is 3-0 in her last 3 appearances in December, January, and February. She is making a run through Warrior Wrestling, and this is her time. If you were in Cicero Stadium, anybody who's listening, she was just the crowd was going nuts for her in her match against Miranda Alize, the Lucha baddie, and it's clear that Skye is a star. And she's making her way, rising up the ranks in AEW. And what better way to make a splash there than to defeat the possible AEW Women's Champion in Thunder Rosa. So we're really excited to see what plays out here. I think they're two huge fan favorites, and no matter who wins, people are going to be pretty excited.
Yeah, and we'll see tonight if Thunder Rosa can come out and be the AEW Women's Champion against Britt Baker.
Yeah, so we're going to be watching. Our whole Warrior team is going to be texting one another and watching tonight's event with big enthusiasm, because one of our people might win the AEW Women's title, which would be pretty cool. Now, granted, Britt's also one of our people, right? Britt has been on 3 different Warrior shows early on, but it's really Rosa who's carrying the banner for us now as the Warrior Wrestling Women's champ. So we're excited.
Yes, I know Thunder Rosa is very versatile. I mean, she's done mixed martial arts before. Got to see her in the cage. Is just a great athlete.
Yeah, no, she truly is. And the word athlete is correct. Some people are performers, some people are fighters. She is an athlete. And that's what we like to see, is great athletes in Warrior Wrestling.
Definitely. Athena and AQA, that's going to be another fun one, because I think Athena at this point is, she's definitely revved up after that last match with Thunder Rosa, wants to get that victory, and she's being featured now more and more in Independence.
Yeah, she's come back to the Independents and taken it by storm, and AQA is looking to make her mark. She just signed to AEW. She faced Jade Cargill a few weeks ago, and I know the two of them know one another and have trained together a little bit back in Texas, I believe. And this is a match they both really want, and that's one of the things that we work on at Warriors, trying to build matches that not only that we want to see or the fans want to see, but that the talent want to have. These are the fights they want to have, and these two are motivated for this match. Like a lot of these matches, this could be the show stealer.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think both these women are very athletic. They draw their big draws in their own right, and we'll get to see who comes out on top.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think the next match is Casey Navarro and Speedball Mike Bailey. That's going to be steal the show, because these two are very athletic. They're very talented, very charismatic too in their performances.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, KC, anybody who's been to a Warrior show in the last year knows that he has been the guy to steal the show night after night with a whole variety of opponents. And Speedball just returned to us in February, returned to the States in February, and he's been tearing it up everywhere, all across the country. And I think people are now beginning to see what we've been waiting for 5.5 years, because we saw Speedball in person in PWG in 2015. And when we launched Warrior in 2018, that short list of dream talent to have included Speedball Mike Bailey. So now that he's on our rotation, he is going to tear it up like he did against Santana. When you put him against KC, like you said, this has show stealer written all over it.
Yeah, I think they're both young, exciting, and we've seen, even Speedball Mike Bailey take on guys like Ninja Mac and survive that and get his hand raised, crazy matches. So I know he's eager to get his first win in Warrior. Yeah,
it is. There are very few talents that are as well-rounded as he is, and I foresee a bright future for Speedball Warrior Wrestling.
Definitely, and we have Major League Wrestling coming back in the Chicago area as well. So Casey Navarro will have a chance to be a part of that too.
Yes, sir.
And then we have the Trey Miguel and Myron Reed versus Aramis and Ares. That's going to be a match where you can't blink. It's going to be so exciting, so fast paced. And I know Ares is eager to get back into the Warrior Wrestling ring. It's been a while for him to been featured in Warrior Wrestling.
Yeah, he was in the first Lucha War of Attrition that Aramis won back in June of last year, and he's just unbelievably talented. Ares can fly, he can technical wrestle. He's what he calls the king of strange style. He does things that other people don't do. And then them against Myron and Trey. Obviously, we've seen what Trey can do over the years, and Myron has been on several Warrior shows. This is going to be, like you said, a match where you don't blink. It's going to be a match where you're not going to know what to call. I feel bad for the play-by-play announcers.
Definitely. And Trey Miguel still is the X Division champion, and he's taking on all comers.
Yes, sir. He just defeated Jake Something last night, a rematch of a match from Warrior last summer. Yeah. And he's still holding that title strong. And now remember too, he lost the Warrior title in December and was not pinned. Will Ospreay pinned Blake Christian. So I think, not only is Trey looking to earn a victory in this big tag match, but he might have his sights set on getting that gold back that he never technically lost. Nobody beat him for it. So he's got the X Division gold, and he has an argument to get a shot at the Warrior gold as well.
Yep, and we saw Blake Christian claim his title shot aspiration too.
Yeah, and then Blake's not on the show and Will's not on the show, but Trey is. So we'll see what happens because
Yeah,
we know Will Ospreay's coming back. And we know Blake wants him, and we'll see if Trey wants him, and we'll see what comes together from that.
definitely. It was a very passionate speech by Blake Christian after his big win.
That was the most fire we've seen from Blake on the mic. And I'm going to be honest, you know, we knew he might be saying a few words, but even I was surprised at the passion and the fire that he brought. So
Definitely.
it was great to see a different side of Blake.
I liked seeing that too. I'm all for it. When we see Killer Kross step in the ring against Jonah, it's going to be like worlds colliding. I think this is going to be one of these matches.
Well, he's got Jake something. Killer Kross has got Jake something.
Yeah.
And that is going to be a match that, again, we talked a minute ago about the talent being excited. I talked to Killer Kross about coming back, and we agreed he was going to come back for this show. And we talked about a whole bunch of different opponents. And when the name Jake something came up, he said, "Stop. That's it. I want to test myself against Jake something." And those who are Warrior fans know, as we mentioned earlier, Jake had a great match with Trey last summer. Jake has had great matches with Warhorse and others. He is just an incredibly versatile talent. And this is going to be two big, strong dudes beating the snot out of each other.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of people getting forearmed in the face, Killer Kross and Jake something is the match for you.
I know. Jake have to be careful because his head will be thrown on the mat too.
Yeah, this is going to be a fight.
Yeah, that's going to be one. Like I said, worlds will collide in that one for sure. And it's funny because, you know, Killer Kross, formerly of Impact Wrestling as well, but kind of he established himself there before Jake something did.
Yeah, so it's two monsters from two different eras of Impact, two strong style badasses. And this will be the first time they've ever collided. And I think people will remember it.
And then the match we're all talking about, of course, Lance Archer and Jonah is going to be another big house fight. And this one is going to be not very unpredictable.
Yeah, I mean, this is the match. And I've used this analogy before. This is King Kong versus Godzilla. You know, you just don't want to be Tokyo because these guys are going to destroy McGowan Hall. The pure mass of humanity in this match, all 6'7", 6'8" of Lance Archer, 300 and whatever pounds, the boulder-like presence of Jonah, the clash of these two locomotives. I'm just hoping that Merle and company bring the extra reinforced ring, because if not, that might be the end of the show at this match, because the whole thing might come down with them, like Big Show coming down off the rope.
Yeah,
because these guys are just going to beat the living hell out of each other, and neither one of them knows anything slower than 50 miles an hour. And for their size and for their speed, if people know anything about power or momentum, that locomotive going 50 miles an hour hitting head on with another one, it's going to be a crash.
Yes, Lance Archer is just eager to smash heads. I just feel like every time we see him, you know, like it's funny how they announce his opponent being thrown down the ring, you know, at AEW Dark or whatever.
Just dragging somebody down to pin.
Yes, and so I think that is exciting. I think Lance Archer, you know, just came off that big match with Hangman Adam Page, so I think that resonates in a lot of fans' minds too.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people saw that and realized that, yes, he's a great wrestler. He's also a violent monster. And when Lance is in the ring, you don't know what's coming. It's unpredictable.
Yes, for sure. Well, we can't wait for it. This is an exciting card. And I'm sure you got a lot more to announce, so we'll have you back in the future, because we know that you've got the Stadium Series returning. You've got Warrior Wrestling is going to be in South Bend again next month. And then Grand Rapids, I believe, in May or June.
South Bend in April, the St. Louis area in May, and then Grand Rapids in June. So our Midwest tour continues. We even got a band-style tour shirt out on PWTs right now, if anyone wants to check it out. But yeah, so I would be happy to come back and tell you all about those shows as they come together. But right now, we are all gears focused on Indianapolis on March 12th.
Yes, and I mean, Indianapolis has a strong pro wrestling following, wouldn't you say? I mean, I know they're doing like conventions there all the time too, as well. So
yeah, that people care, and that's what you want. That's what we looked for when we booked cities. Right. Where can we go where people care and they want to see great wrestling? So Indy, we're bringing it. You guys better show up and bring it too.
Definitely. Well, Steve, I appreciate you being on Pro Wrestling Enforcer. Always a pleasure to have you on, and enjoy the AEW pay-per-view tonight. Of course, everybody check out Warrior Wrestling 20. It's going to be live on FITE TV. Make sure if you can't be there, get on FITE TV. If you want to attend, warriorwrestling.net with all the information, ticket information as well. And it's going to be an exciting show. I think a lot of fans, they see this as like, hey, I could take a trip out of town, you know, spend the night in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Indianapolis is a fun city to check out as well.
Yeah, make a road trip out of it. Come on down. It'll be great.
Definitely. Well, appreciate you, Steve, and appreciate you being on the show, and best of luck to you. We'll see you out
Thanks,
there.
Sean. I'll see you soon, my friend.
Okay, take care.